All right. So, post-match analysis, guys. Post-match analysis. Norway 2, Brazil 1. 2 goals by Erling Haaland, coming in on the 79th and the 90th minute, and a pen by Neymar, just to crown everything all. And afterwards, the big news coming in afterwards is that Neymar is actually has announced that he's retiring.
Yeah.
Neymar announced his retirement right after this game. Where we were watching the game, we were a little bit furious about the fact that number one, he came into the game, started having a scuffle with the goalkeeper, scored, was smiling at the goalkeeper, and your team is literally losing, no self awareness. After the full time whistle, he sat on the floor and he was crying again with no self awareness. And now is now announcing his retirement. Are we seeing this as a pity party for Neymar right now at this point, Mr. D? Big up to you,
Well,
bro.
for me, like you said during the game, I was surprised when they got the penalty at like, I don't know, it was like 98 minutes or almost 100 minutes,
Yeah.
when the game is almost over, and you score the penalty, and you're still wasting time, still trying to talk back at the goalkeeper. And I was like, okay, does Brazil know that they're actually losing? That they only have like 2 3 minutes to do for the referee to blow the whistle, and they're getting knocked out. So then when we saw him afterwards crying, for me, all this is just pretty sure that Neymar already knew that after this World Cup, he's going to
He's ret-
announce that he's retiring.
exactly.
So it's not something he was already planned. He just came for this World Cup just to mark it that, okay, this was his last World Cup. So either way, was going to retire. So, but how he announced it, would it have made sense? Maybe at least wait till like tomorrow or something, rather than just right after the match. But either way, he had to retire. But I think he said he's retiring from international football, so hence he's probably still playing club football. But
So
yeah,
basically, he just made this about himself. That's the way I see it. He made the whole
well,
thing about himself
well,
in a way.
I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't blame him. Like I said, I think the code, the FA has a hand in it, because if they didn't select him and all that, he wouldn't be at the World Cup. But at the same time, let's take this World Cup out. Obviously, Neymar didn't give anything in this World Cup, but in the last three World Cups that he's attended, I would say in the last 10 years, Neymar has been a key figure in the Brazilian team. So maybe they use this World Cup to just kind of just compensate him, as kind of like, thank you for all you've done for us, maybe.
Hmm.
But he's been a good player for Brazil, but he's getting to a point whereby he's older, he's past his prime. I didn't see any reason for them to have brought him to this World Cup, rather than the fact that they were probably just trying to just say, thank you for your services, and just trying to appreciate him. So he was just here for vibes, basically. But he's been a good player though, both in club and country. Yeah, he has had some back and forth even while he was at Barcelona, the PSG. He's had some issues, but
Hmm.
talent wise, he's been a very good player. But whether we like it or not, he's way, way, way past his prime, and he needs to just retire and move on.
Good luck to
Yeah,
him, man.
so that's
So,
it.
so let's just move forward from Neymar, because Neymar, as much as we're trying to make this about Neymar, but there's even a bigger talking point that we need to focus on, right? Which is Norway. Norway, they are the main people that we need to be focusing on right now, because
Hmm.
they came into this World Cup and nobody gave them a chance, right? This is a team that no one gave a chance to after qualification, and let's pull up their group so that way we can break it down where they actually started from, and just to tell you um where they were before. So in their
Yeah,
group
so that's it
stage,
right there.
right, so they are in the group with Senegal, France, and Iraq. So that's their group right there. And in the first game, they destroyed Iraq 4-1, destroyed, 3-2 win against Senegal, and France destroyed them 4-1,
Yeah.
right? So, again, for a team that how long ago were they in the World Cup? Norway history. Historians in the chat. How long is Norway? What was the last time they were in the World Cup? So 4 times. 1938,
98.
94, 98. So 98 to now, mad people. How many years is that? Almost 30 something years? 28
Yes, almost
years?
30 years. Yeah,
28 years?
28 years.
So 28 years ago was the last time they are in the World Cup. So for them now to come back into the World Cup, not only going through the group stage, the round of 32, the round of 16, now they're in the quarterfinals. Meaning that
Yeah, and this has been their best. Reaching this round of 16 has been the
I think
best.
this has been their best ever, right? Their best
Yeah, ever.
run ever in the world stage. And now they have an opportunity to face either England or Mexico in the next
Correct.
round. And with the way they play today, to be honest with you, they dominated the game today. We thought, no, when the game started, we thought maybe this was an initial thing. Maybe this was an initial, play that we're going to see. And with time, Brazil will come back into the game. Maybe with time, we are going to see something different. With time, And we were watching the first 10 minutes, 15, 20, 25, 40, 45 minutes. Second half started. And literally, this possession ball right here did not change. They dominated the 90 minutes of the game in terms of ball possession. But the only thing we had and the only question that we questioned them was it was backward passing,
Yeah,
sideways, backwards. They were not
doing
going
much with
forward.
the ball.
No forward
Yeah.
movement, right? They were just passing the ball, even though they were preventing Brazil to dominate the ball. But they held the ball, but they were doing sideways passing, backward passing. And you could say that Brazil had most of the chances, right? They had
Yeah.
most of the dangerous chances. Run us through those chances. Run us through everything.
Yeah, in the first half, Brazil had a penalty. A penalty in any game is like already a goal, almost a goal in any game when you use a penalty. Then for Brazil to lose that, to miss that penalty, which we questioned, Bruno taking the penalty. I'm not sure
Exactly.
what was going on with Vinicius. And I was just reading one of the analysts talking about it earlier. Vinicius need to be ashamed of himself.
That's
You are
disgraceful.
you are a star player in the
Disgraceful.
team. You are a forward player. Penalties, forward player. They breed on penalties. You're a forward player. You are a star player in the team. He was one that even had the ball in his hand. So nobody was even struggling with him for the penalty. Then he just handed the ball to Bruno. I'm like, okay, that shows lack of confidence.
Yeah. Lack of
And it's
leadership,
very
lack of
exactly,
confidence.
and it's just very shameful. Shameful.
Do you think
So
someone
give
like
it to
Mbappe
Bruno.
would have dropped the ball like that?
No,
Messi,
Mbappe
Ronaldo,
Mbappe taking that
Haaland.
penalty all day. Harry Kane taking it all day.
Exactly.
Because you don't have to be captain. We know that someone like Harry Kane is the captain, or maybe he has more say. But in the Brazilian team, Vinicius, you are the
the
big
main
player
man.
there.
You
I don't
are
think
the main
anybody.
man.
I don't think anybody would have struggled or objected.
No, I don't think
that
so.
you shouldn't take the penalty.
And
So
the
that
funny
was
thing about this,
disgraceful.
is it me, Mr. D, that I've not seen Bruno G take a penalty before in my life?
I have not. People say he's taking from Newcastle, but I've not seen him taking much penalties. Even the second penalty, I still question why Vinicius
is not taking it.
But that's still, in a way, understandable. First, it doesn't matter. They're already out, and they feel, okay, maybe Neymar, if he scores, there's going to be a record for him, like he has scored in 4 World Cups. So that you can still say maybe, but you as a forward player, Vinicius, the big star of Brazil, no, you should be going to get that ball and take the penalty.
I think
Because I tell you,
basically, yeah.
if Brazil has scored that penalty,
Yeah,
it
it's
would
a
be
different game. It's a
It
different
will be a
game.
different game.
It's a different game. I think it just chickened out that he doesn't
Yeah,
want any responsibility. He doesn't want anything to come back at him. He doesn't want people to hate him for missing the pen. I think he just chickened out at the moment for someone that has played on the highest stage. For someone
yeah,
that basically you were literally 2 years ago fighting that you didn't get a Ballon d'Or award.
exactly.
So for you now to chicken out on a big stage is disgraceful. It's really, really disgraceful, to be honest with you. But
Yeah,
again, Hendrick, oh my goodness.
he
What
had
a
a
miss.
chance. He had a
Like,
chance.
oh
He had,
my,
he got the ball. First touch was okay. Second touch was just too heavy.
one
He got
on one with the
too
goalkeeper.
close to the goalkeeper. Then at that point, he tried to kind of just chip it to the side. He caught it too much. You have to be putting that away. You have to be putting that away.
Was that at that
Of
point?
course,
Was it 1-0 or still 0-0 that time? I think it was still 0-0.
I think yeah, it was still nil. It was still
So
nil.
it was still
If he
0-0
had,
that time. So
if
they
he had
had two
scored that,
chances
if
before
he
they
had scored
scored.
if
Oh
he had
my
scored
goodness.
that, different game. And of course we had the goalkeeper of Norway made some very critical
Oh yeah,
saves.
I was coming to
You
him
know,
next.
where we had one from Vinicius from the left where the goalkeeper used his leg to save that. And so even the other save, which was like almost it should have been an own goal, which
Yeah,
his
that was
defender
right after they
tried
scored.
to
Right.
after they scored, tried to clear the ball, and it was just deeping in, and the keeper just almost killed himself to save that ball.
And there was one as well when Martinelli cut in and he was trying to put the ball across the box to Bruno G.
Yes,
That he,
yes,
that he also
and,
put his
and
leg
he
to
put his leg
deflect.
to deflect it. Yes, yes,
I, I know
yeah. So
Alan was given the man of the match, right? MVP for this
yeah,
game. But I
because of the
think the
goals.
goalkeeper is the main reason they stayed on the game, to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
I agree. I agree. I knew they were going to give it to Alan because of the goals, but the goalkeeper, yeah, for me, is the man of the match.
Let's talk about some some players real quick. Let's talk about players because it is unbelievable the way the market is right now to buy players like this. Ryan, I was looking at it. He has 120 million release clause.
No, that one, they're just joking. They can't get that kind of money for him.
No, this is release clause. This
No,
is
yeah.
not
So
about
yeah,
joking.
yeah. No,
This
no.
is his
Then they will
release
just
clause.
nobody's gonna buy him at that price, so they will just keep him. He will just stay there.
And go on a
Because
free, probably.
I just feel club just slap those. If they really want to sell him, they will just negotiate and get a lower price. I guess the release clause is okay if somebody really want to force and trigger it. It doesn't mean they have to be sold for that price. If they are willing, if they negotiate with somebody for 70, 80, and they agree, yeah, they will still sell him.
Even 80 million for this brother right
Yeah,
here.
it's even too much for him.
What? For
I don't think he's
no.
I don't think he's going anywhere. He's gonna stay at Bournemouth next season.
Oh my goodness. He was poor. And this speaks to Ancelotti as well, which is I was even expecting to get a type of resignation from Ancelotti as well. Like Ancelotti, okay, I'm
Well,
resigning
we
after
might
this
still
World
get
Cup.
that. It might not be immediate. Yeah, because what's left for him? I think he should just resign.
Because at
Like,
the end of the day, it was awful. Like the team selection was terrible
yeah,
because how can you have a squad? Okay, number one is not that Brazil they're blessed with plethora of players. It's not that they are blessed with a lot of players that they can pick from, right? It's not that. But the ones that you have, you are not even taken out of them. How can you leave
exactly.
someone like João Pedro
Yeah,
and
that's
you
what
are
everybody keeps
taking
saying.
Rayan, you are taking
You're
people
taking
like
Thiago.
Thiago. You don't even trust Thiago enough to bring him in this game. You didn't trust him enough to bring him in this game. So why bring him? And this is what happens with all this one season. Thank God. Thank God that there's the World Cup. Imagine no World Cup, right? And someone like that, Thiago, you try to
Got
buy him.
to Arsenal.
They'll probably sell it for 85 million. And you have a bidding war for Thiago, You have a bidding war for this brother, and he will come in and score just 10 goals for you or 9 goals. So it's good that we're even seeing this during the World Cup to be like, okay, this guy is not good enough. Why did you leave João Pedro? Why did you take Neymar with you? Is there
Yeah,
any other
yeah.
person
I
that
don't
you could
understand
have taken?
the João Pedro one. João Pedro should have been in that team over Thiago, over Neymar. Like I said, I think they took Neymar just for, for compensation of our vibes. Yeah, Ryan, I don't know, but yeah, so that all that is on the coaches and Ancelotti, because you could have been in a different situation because João Pedro had a wonderful season, scoring goals,
Exactly.
probably pay better for them. But now they're out of the World Cup, so they have to go regroup and prepare for another 4 years.
I'm even about to make a wild statement right now. I would have taken Richarlison over that Thiago brother, because one thing you know
Yeah,
about
because
Richarlison is a scrapper.
Richarlison is, yeah,
He's a
he's used
scrapper.
to the Brazilians team. He's been playing there for them for so long. So I was even surprised they didn't take him because Richarlison had the number 9 jersey. He has
Right.
the number 9, and he plays all the time, and he's a hustler too.
And the thing is that Richarlison is someone that actually can get you a goal out of nothing. Is that kind of guy that even right now, when someone like today's game, while they were looking for a goal, Richarlison is someone that will scrap with those defenders. He's someone that probably can get something out of nothing. We saw that in the Premier League, right? He was scoring,
Yeah, yeah,
even though Spurs they don't win, but he always scores. He always score that extra one goal. Maybe you make it 3-2 or 2-1. He always scores that goal. Look at the banger he scores against Arsenal. Even though we beat them
yeah,
4-1. The one he chipped Raya from the midfield, right? So I'm
yeah.
surprised that Richarlison was not taken. It's just unbelievable, the selection from Ancelotti and what he has done. Cunha, anonymous in this game. Gabriel Martinelli, disgraceful trying to play him as a 10 from that midfield. I don't know what the
Yeah, they
idea
actually, yeah,
behind
they
that
played him
is.
as a, yeah, like a 8. I think in the first half, I think he tried because it was swapping with Vinicius.
Right.
So averagely, he was given a 7.0, so it's just average. He wasn't like the poorest player on the pitch, but of course, you didn't play him in the area of his strength. In even Cunha, I know was played as a false nine, but technically, Cunha is not really like a striker like that.
Right.
And that's the problem when you look at the Brazilian team. They didn't come with any striker like
They
that.
did not. Right.
They just have like people you're using people like false nine and midfielders that are supporting strikers, making them, so they have themselves to blame basically, because even when they took out Cunha, they had to bring in like Hendrick and all that, so they didn't have
Right.
like an all out and out
They
striker.
no like the level of Brazilian football, what we've known them to be, is
Yeah, it
of
has really dropped.
substandard.
It has really dropped. It has
Substandard
really dropped.
players.
Yeah, they're just an average team, right? Very, very not just even average, very average team right now. So they need to actually, go back. If they want to get back to their glory days, they need to actually go back and probably go look on the streets of Brazil and discover new players and kind of just identify new talents. Because I'm pretty sure there are talented players out there that are Brazilian, but with what they have right now, and now
Do
they're
you think
they're
they
not it.
are? Because we are not seeing them. We
No,
are
that's
not.
what I'm saying. There will be some of them might be in their local leagues. Brazil as a nation is a footballing nation.
Right.
There will be some raw talent that have not been discovered yet or that the world haven't seen yet. So it would take a good coach or good, to spot them, to identify them. So they have 4 years to do that now. The next World Cup will be in 4 years. Because if you are bringing the same people in, first of all, all these players you have will be 4 years older. A
Yes.
Marquinhos will be four
He'll
years
be
older.
retired. I think he'll be
Even
retired by then.
if he's not retired, he can't even defend again. So,
Yeah,
but I think he
McKinnon
will
will
be
be
gone.
done by then. Then
Allison, all those
Gabriel
people will be
Magalhaes
gone.
should be in the studies as well.
Casemiro will be gone. So
He'll be gone. Yes.
they have to find new players.
Even
They have to find a player.
Bruno G is gonna be 29 this year, so another 4 years to that will be like
Yeah,
33.
another 4 years. Yeah, he's probably gone yeah. Even
So,
Vinicius will be 4 years older, so they need new player, which I know they have. They just have to discover them and push them out.
but the problem now is that we are having is that we have all these system managers now. That's the problem. So Jaga Benito, I don't think any manager right now will want that on their team because their teams are so systematic. It's like clogs now, right? The way
Hmm.
football is being played, where you have to pass this ball, then they know where next, then the ball has to go to, then they have to
Yeah,
spread the ball, they have to play this
yeah,
ball, they have to do triangle,
yeah. People
semicircle,
have been
hexagon.
overcoached.
They're overcoached now. So even if these players are in Brazil, managers will not want to take them because they know this one will want to dribble the whole field and they want
Yeah.
the system rather than someone that can dribble the whole field. You understand what I'm saying? So are they actually going to pick players from there if they continue with all the system? And look at all the crops of managers now. All
Yeah.
the old school ones are going. You can even say Ancelotti is one of the ones that allows some type of Jacob Benito to happen, But
Hmm.
once Ancelotti leaves, who else is there? Is there Arteta? Is there Alonso? All the system players. You have to play 5,000 passes,
Yeah,
before you
there's too
score.
much. Technology has played a major role in football now. Everything
Exactly.
is everything is calculated. They calculate on every player. They have all these gadgets on them. They're monitoring your pace, how you move your leg. So it's just too computerized now.
But
It's
isn't that even how funny? You mentioned something right now, which isn't that even funny that the more the technology, the more the injuries? Back in the day when they didn't have any red zone technology,
exactly.
players were playing. There was no injuries, People had injuries. Ronaldo had knee break and things like that, still came back. And 2002, he tore up the World Cup,
Because I think the game is played now is way different from the way it used to be
played,
played.
right?
Because the pace of the game now.
It's different.
Now,
You're
now,
right.
if now it doesn't matter your skill level. If you don't have speed,
Or
you're not
defend.
going
If
to.
a
You're
winger
not.
that cannot defend, a
If
winger
you
that
don't
cannot defend.
exactly, if you don't have speed, you're not going to excel. You're not going to be a star because you look at some people. But if you have speed, so they're measuring your speed. You are building your speed because but even the way the ball moves now, it moves faster than it used to. When they
Right.
kick the ball, it moves faster than it used to. Like you said, an attacker is expected to know how to defend. If you're playing on the wings, you have to be able to fall back, cover. So they're working harder. I think back in the days, everybody have their position. You just
Attack,
master your
attack, defend, defend.
exactly a midfielder stay in midfield. But
Stay
now you are
midfield.
seeing a right back playing as a midfielder, inverting to midfield.
It's
They're just
inverted.
changing everything. You see, so it's
David
too
Raya wants to strike. David
yeah.
Raya. David Raya. You see that right in midfield.
You see, even you see even goalkeeper situation where people are saying, okay, what is happening? Are we looking for a goalkeeper or
Or a ball
or, or,
player.
or, or a playmaker? You say you have to be a ball player, you have to be good with your feet. No, the
Yeah.
goalkeeper needs to be able to stop shots.
And
That's
catch
what
the
the
ball.
goalkeeper is for. Yeah,
It's
so a
madness.
lot of things have changed in the game.
Oh, you're 100% right about that. And I think this is what is affecting the Brazilian football now, which is the origin of Brazilian football is not like the Spanish football. It's not like the English football. It's not like the European football in general. The origin of
Yeah.
Brazilian football is a Denilson doing like 50 step overs.
Mm-hmm.
Is Ronaldinho dribbling like
Ronaldinho.
four people. Rivaldo bending a free kick from the midfield.
Yeah.
Romario,
Because
Bebeto,
it's all about
you
flair,
know,
keeping
flair and everything.
keeping the crowd entertained. It's entertainment, entertainment.
Now even if you shoot the ball from outside, you can get benched. If you try to shoot the ball from outside, some coaches can bench you for that. Why did you do that? Why didn't you
Yeah.
pass? We even saw last season Ateta screaming at Trossard to fall back, like defend, defend, defend,
Yeah,
and it's unbelievable. And I think that is what is affecting the Brazilian football right now. And I think for the Brazilian football or South America in general, the only exception is I think Argentina. Argentina is the exception to it because they have players for whatever reason. They have system players. Argentina has built system players right from get. Argentina has always been a system team, even though they have maybe 1 out of 10 players or 9 players. You have a Maradona that can dribble. You have a Messi that can do the same thing. But every other person are just system players that play that kind of European style of football. And they've
right.
always had like strikers, like Crespo, Batistuta. They've
Yeah,
always had those kind of strikers that can kill you,
Aguero.
Ortega. They always had those people. So looking at them now, that's why this Argentine team can still function in this new era as well. And it's like they still have someone
True.
like a Messi. So I think Brazil now is either they fall in line, they get a coach, a manager that can probably help them fall in line with the new system, and or they go back to their origin, to be honest with you. But
Yeah,
something has to happen because they
yeah,
are not
you're
good
right.
enough.
Yeah,
And
they're not good
also,
enough. They're
question to
average.
you. Why Allison? Because Allison has been poor this season. This last season, Allison has been poor. So
Well, I think it's between Allison and Ederson.
uh-huh.
Ederson looks like he's the backup goalkeeper. Yeah, Allison. I always say that for a goalkeeper, the strength of your defense pretty much kind of determines your level.
Right.
So when you look at Allison last season, Liverpool as a team generally were poor last season,
Defending, right.
even defense. So hence why Allison was what it was. So Allison is not like a bad goalkeeper. The goals that were scored today, the second goal you would have thought maybe you could have saved that, but that goal went through the legs of people and the ball was fast and it was like on
What's
the
up?
ground. So
What's
you
up
have to
with the
really,
ball going through the Brazilian defender's legs? Not just one.
yeah, a lot of times, so
Like, what's the whole point of defending if the ball is going through guys like Casper the Ghost? You guys are just standing there and the ball is just going through. It's unbelievable. But
yeah,
again, the battle between Gabriel and Ireland is
yeah,
becoming something now that is like we have to talk about it because
they
we
will still
started
bring
with
it back.
wrestling, right?
They will still bring it back to the Premier League next season. I
Oh
don't
my goodness.
as far as long as Gabriel and Ireland are in the same league, whenever they see each other, it will be it will be war.
Because today
And
again,
and
it got the best of Gabriel.
and it's fair and it's fair because Gabriel as a defender, you're trying to say, you know what, I'm going to do my job and prevent you from scoring. And Ireland will be like, oh, you think you're tough? I'm going to do my job and make sure I score against you. And look at the way Alan just peeled away from Gabriel
Oh,
for
that
that
was
first
that
goal.
was brilliant.
Like Gabriel wasn't expecting it. He was marking Alan. He thought he had him covered, but Alan just peeled forward, bang, just
That was clinical.
headed the ball in.
And that
So
was he won up Gabriel. So right now, again for the new season, it's already Ireland 1, Gabriel nil right now.
yeah,
So we are, and I know for sure in the next time that we are meeting. Oh, that we are meeting Community Shield, right? Community
yes, that's
Shield.
true.
But the
Yeah, we
question
play
is Gabriel going to play in Community Shield? We don't know yet. We don't know whether
Yeah, we
both of
don't
them
know.
are going to play because of the
We
World
don't
Cup.
know yet.
We don't know.
We don't
But
know
now
yet if they
that
are
Gabriel
going to
has
play or
6 weeks
not.
to rest, maybe. But because Ireland is going to be staying longer in the World Cup, he might not be playing preseason. So
That's true.
let's see. Let's see what happens. But for sure, it's something that we need to keep an eye on. Is a battle that both of them they've started a rivalry that we are all enjoying. Now let's talk about the partnership between Gabriel and Marquinhos because I don't think it's something that worked in this World Cup at all between both of them. And I'm not sure why, because Marquinhos, you can say, if he's not a world class, is close to being a world class defender, right? And
Right.
Gabriel as well, if you don't say he's world class, is close to being a world class defender. What happened between those two that again, because their first game, was it the first game that a pass went through both of them? That was the first game, right? Let me pull that up.
I can't even remember that. But but I think at the end of the day, it boils down to just understanding. I'm
Yes,
not sure.
Morocco. Against Morocco, it was 1-1. That ball that went through both Gabriel and Marquinhos. That
Yeah,
was against
because I
Morocco.
was going to say, okay, apart from today, they only considered 2 goals in the last 4 games. So what it's not like they've been that poor, but I think it's about partnership, because when we talk about the Saliba and Gabriel, I think it's something that was built over
Over
few
time.
seasons,
Right.
and
Mm-hmm.
because they play together, you can imagine in a season, even the league alone, 38 games, you have Champions League, FA Cup. So in a season, they play at least about 50 games, or let's say 40 games or thereabout together. So that's a lot of playing together. And if you look at the way Arsenal plays, it's always Gabriel Saliba, except if something is wrong with one of them. So I think they've had that understanding, which I would think if either of them should be playing and close his eyes, it will know where the other one is,
Right.
because they've played well together. But like Marquinhos and Gabriel, like how many times have they really played together like that? So they are both good defenders, but bringing it
That
in
communication
and
is not there.
communication, then I don't think they have good fullbacks.
Oh yeah,
Which they have to
Danilo and
also cover.
Santos.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
yeah.
It's really shocking what we are looking at. Like we were talking about during the game, when you've seen the likes of Marcelo, Alves, Cafu, Roberto
Roberto
Carlos,
Carlos, all these
and now
kind
you
of
are
players.
seeing these brothers, from Peru, in that, you can't even call them Brazilians. No disrespect to any Peruvian in the chat, but you know what I'm saying? Like when you now see them, it's unbelievable what we are seeing. But again, it was a shocker today. Big up to Norway, Ireland, 7 goals now. He's definitely
Yeah,
going for the golden boot. He's been
7 goals equaling
quietly. You can
Messi
say
and Mbappe.
quietly. He's been going quietly, stilt mode, where he's not even shouting, he's not making that noise. A lot of people are focused on Mbappe and Messi, but it's just like, you know what? I'm not gonna say anything. Even if you look at his tweets, right? His tweets and everything, he's always bigging up those guys like they are the legends. He respects them, but he's just doing his own thing on the underground, on the low, and he has 7 goals now.
Yeah, right,
So
right. Very true.
I'm not sure. So, based on the fact that the team is playing for, right, you might argue that maybe they won't stay long in the World Cup, because if we look at the knockout stage, right? Let's go back to the knockout. So,
Yeah, so
they
so now they're gonna play Mexico or England.
right, and they will face whoever. If Argentina gets to this point, they will face whoever wins Argentina, whoever. Most likely, would say Argentina, right? So let's say they beat
Yeah, so that's
Mexico.
semi-final. If they
Yeah,
if they play so Mexico or England is quarterfinals for
quarterfinal. That's
them.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, so if they win that, then the semi-finals.
They're in the semifinals, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. That Norway, the longer the go, I think that's
The more chance Ireland have.
Ireland will have a
And when
golden boot.
people are expecting that, okay, France or Argentina will probably go
We get
farther
to the
than Norway.
finals.
So Messi and Mbappe have more
Mbappe,
chance
right?
to score more goals, but you never know. France just barely scored 1 goal yesterday. They fought to score that 1 goal. But let's see how it goes.
Well, it's a good thing to see that someone like Ireland, if Norway continues to qualify, this is someone that in the next maybe 2-3 World Cups, it can actually break that record, whatever record being set right now. It can actually catch up to it and break it. To be honest with you, it can do that.
Yeah.
So it's good to see, Ireland again defining himself as a world class, because he's been questioned. every single time. They always throw that at him. Oh, you've not done this at the World Cup level, but he has done it in the Premier League. He has done that in the Bundesliga now. He has done that, in the Champions League. Now he's doing the same thing, on the World Cup stage. So I think Ireland now is signed, sealed, delivered, confirmed world class
Yes,
striker.
exactly.
And
He's a world class. He has proven everybody that he can do it anywhere.
so no more talk, no more talking, no more, bad mouthing Ireland moving forward. So big up to them. Big up to, Norway for pulling one out today. 2-1 win over Brazil. Brazil now they're out. Neymar has announced that he is retiring today after the game. Again, we are waiting for Ancelotti to also resign. And Brazil, they need to put themselves together. That's what I can say. They need to put themselves together. Again,
True.
guys, big up to you. Like, share, subscribe. Big up to every single one of you in the chat. Put your comments in again. Brazil, Norway, post match. Just put your comments in and let's know how you feel about the game. And